Coach's second half of a back-to-back here, but your group still had that high energy level. Did you see that tonight? How did you feel about just their performance?
It didn't feel like a back-to-back in terms of our energy or anything like that. Some, maybe missed some early shots, a little bit short, trying to find our legs. But other than that, I thought our ability to fly around and be up defensively and really kind of cover a lot of area was on point.
Did you feel like the defensive approach was on point as well tonight, just following the game plan for your team?
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding. Really good job by our guys out there executing.
Maybe a few slip-ups late, but Ant defensively, just what have you thought of the way he's communicating on the court right now?
Sorry, he's, I think, part of his overall growth has been understanding schemes better and concepts, on and off the ball. Thought he was really good in the low man spot tonight. Thought he was really good on the ball when you had him there too, and flying around contesting for the most part.
Seems like he's talking between free throws, literally everything right now. You've talked about how his leadership role has grown. Is that more important in the locker room or actually out on the court?
Well, I mean, it's at both places, but communicating on the floor in the heat of the battle is probably more important, yeah.
Chris, how important do you feel Nas was defensively tonight?
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. I mean, he was up. He was active. He had great hands. He did a great job of recovering. Really, really pleased again with him. Just keeps whatever we ask him to do, he just keeps delivering. So.
Does it feel like the kind of playmaking you've seen from Ant in these last 3 games that Rudy has missed can just be applied back once Rudy's out there as well?
I hope so. There's open guys out there. Obviously they're trapping him a lot right now, which is, he's doing a really good job of staying patient through that. So,
Chris, earlier in the season, we were kind of wondering where the team was going to get its energy from. I mean, is Nas just the kind of player with the way how hard he plays night in and night out that provides that?
Yeah, he's done a great job since I've been here. Being able to, not many times his role's been capped, as we've talked about. But he's making the best of everything every minute he gets out there. So, like tonight, when we didn't have him on the floor, we were struggling. So.
The second quarter, 36-14, is that about as clean as a quarter of you guys have played and really responding after trying to find your legs in that first quarter?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was just he settled into a rhythm. We knew we were going to get our shots. Defensively, we were really we arrived with the pass. We didn't foul. We rebounded. So.
And we talked a little before the game about just what Austin has given you, not only shot making, but defensively as well. I mean, is that just kind of veteran leadership there coming?
Yeah, he's just steady, real steady, and he's getting to the hoop. He's driving and making floaters, getting and ones, fouls. Defensively, he's setting a tone for us. So
before the season started, you really wanted to retain the kind of fly around mentality that your team had last year. Mm-hmm. We've seen it the last 3 games. It's really obvious. It's really obvious when it isn't here too. Is it harder to have a fly around mentality when you have really talented but not necessarily fly around type players like Rudy and Cat?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean that's we haven't had them up particularly. We switched with Cat, so that doesn't create fly around situations. Rudy, obviously, we were back in pick and roll mostly. It's interesting. All last year, you guys asked me why we don't play more drop coverage, and this year now you're asking me why we don't fly around more. So it's hard to figure you guys out. But yeah, I think the one thing with the drop coverage is it does make you a little static, sometimes. And those are just habits that we have to get better at. So.
Do you think there's a connection between flying around on defense and being more moving without the ball on offense?
There might be. I mean, I think as the ball moves, one thing I learned early in the league is that players are really driven by their opportunity to touch the ball. The more they touch the ball on offense, the more commitment they have defensively, no matter who they are, even if they're known as a defensive stopper, they still need to touch the ball and feel like they're involved in the offense. So.
With young players, especially those that have a high draft pedigree, there's always talk about a third-year leap around them, especially coming into the season. Did you sense any of that with Ant or any pressure or frustration about this needing to be that kind of season for him?
I don't think so. I mean, he was coming in looking for a great great season. I think that's just the competitive and worked on his game a lot, like they all do. I didn't see that he put any undue pressure on himself for that. We were obviously hopeful that he would make that step, and looks like he is.
This is the kind of situation that in the past, maybe he comes in on a back-to-back second tail end of one after having a good game and maybe struggles, but
yes.
He's put together 2 really good games here. Is there anything different that he's done in situations like this, habit, routine, or anything that got him ready for tonight? You're
going to have to ask him specifically about that, but if I can remember, the last back-to-back we played, he played well in 2. I think he's strung a couple back-to-backs together. So as for specifics, you just have to ask him.
Naz is a player that in his career has made significant leaps from one year to the next, really every year. Is it nice to have the opportunity to kind of see where he's at with bigger playing time opportunities like this?
Absolutely. Gives us a real chance to evaluate him in a full role. Like I said, it's, at times it's been, we played capped with Cat, and he's, just is a hard matchup at the 5 for a lot of guys. He's with his handle and his quickness and his ability to shoot too. So,
what is it? I mean, like you see what he does here, but he obviously won't have the opportunity to play at the 5 a lot by himself. So, how do you juggle all of these guys where it's like they clearly deserve to play in specific roles, but there's too many of them?
Yeah, well, that's my challenge, is just figuring it out. Lineup combinations, etc. I think Naz can play alongside Rudy at the 4 and give us some of the same dynamics, I believe. We've had so many injuries and so much inconsistency throughout a lot of the things we've done this year that it's really been hard to evaluate what we've had or find a rhythm with it. So right now we got a rhythm. So guys who deserve to play are gonna they're gonna play, but